Hey everyone, me Kevin here. So the campaign to become governor has literally ruined my credit score. I kid you not, it got ruined. In fact, I'm going to show you exactly what happened because I've never been late on a bill or payment before, and I still haven't been late. But I'm going to show you exactly what's going on. So you might not know, but running a campaign costs a lot of money, and I've been fronting hundreds of thousands of dollars to run this campaign. And we've got some really, really incredible announcements coming up, but we gotta focus on this credit issue, okay? So let's bring you back into history here a little bit. Take a look at this. On April 12th, my credit score at the top here on Credit Karma, you can see it went up 20 points. It was at about 810. I do use my credit a lot, so it doesn't sit around 850 usually because I'm constantly running my credit and using my credit. And the more you utilize your credit, especially if you're constantly doing mortgages or refinances, usually your credit doesn't sit higher than like that 790 to 820, 830 range. But anyway, credit was somewhere around 810 here. By the way, I've got a full video on how credit scoring works and how the algorithm thinks. If you want to watch that, make sure to type into YouTube, Meet Kevin, 0 to 850 credit score. But anyway, I had an 850 here. And then we announced our campaign in May. So we had no real changes here, you know, little fluctuation changes, 10, 20 points here, 8 points there, 3 points there, whatever, no big deal, little bit of fluctuations. This doesn't matter. As long as you've got above a 740, it doesn't really matter. Usually these scores fluctuate a tiny little bit because of balances on a card or whatever. Then all of a sudden, June 21st came around and my score fell 114 points to 665. And any of you who are members of my courses know that this is bad. This is not good. I would not rent to myself right now, which is weird to say. Of course, we've got programs on do-it-yourself property management, rental renovations, real estate investing, stocks, options, technical analysis, all that. Check out the links for those, by the way, down below because there is a course coupon code that does expire on tonight. Well, actually tonight, July 22nd. That is tonight. The price goes up tomorrow. But anyway, here we go. June 21st, 114 points in the toilet. So naturally, you might be wondering what the heck happened. Well, what happened was actually something that has to do with this. This right here, in case you don't know, is the JP Morgan Reserve card. It's also nicknamed the $10 million credit card. The reason it's nicknamed the $10 million credit card is because unless you have a connection to get into the JP Morgan bank, you need about $10 million of investable assets to get in with JP Morgan and get this card. This used to be called the Palladium card, and the reason for that is, like, it's loud, and it's heavy, and it's metal, and it's really cool. Like, let's just do a quick little comparison here. This is my Apple card, which since I just use the Apple card for Apple Paying, I don't actually, what's it called? Keep it in my wallet. But anyway, this is the Apple card. So let's just do a sound comparison here, okay? Apple card, it's not bad. This one. So you get a little bit of a comparison. They each have their interesting tunes. But anyway, here's what happened. I said that we would use this particular card as my campaign card, and we would segregate this just for the campaign so we could properly track expenses. And the beautiful thing about this is that this card has what's known as an invisible credit line. You cannot find this on my credit profile, which is really good because if I spend a lot of money and then the balance shows up, my credit score doesn't tank because it's invisible. Whereas if I use any other card, it shows up on stuff like, well, my Credit Karma. So, unfortunately, my Amazon card, where we also bought a lot of the stuff for the campaign, and we get 5% off using the Amazon card, was linked to a different card. And so, take a look at this. When we jump over here, we go back to Credit Karma, and when we expand this, we will see JP Morgan Chase card, which is an Amazon card, balance increased by $35,000, which is more than I've ever spent on or had show up as a recorded balance. Like, I never pay any interest. I always pay it off, obviously. But it's more than I ever had. And knowing how the credit algorithms work, recency is extremely important, and a recent, never-before-seen balance increase of $36,000 instantly said my credit score plummeting 114 points. Now, before I show you what happened with changes, I want to mention that because of what happened here, I decided to get another credit card that I could try to use exclusively for the campaign to try to milk back as much money as possible in cash back. My Apple card gives me 2% back when I Apple Pay. My Amazon card gives me 5% back when I use it just on Amazon. But this JPM card only gives me 1.5% back. And what happens when I buy $20,000 worth of hats or t-shirts or flyers or whatever? It'd probably be really good to be able to put that charge onto another card that's going to be able to give me a higher return on my money. And folks, there is a card that does just that. It is the BlockFi credit card. The BlockFi credit card, I'm gonna show you the introductory email here. The BlockFi credit card, check this out. The BlockFi Rewards Visa Signature Card has no annual fees and no foreign transaction fees. You can earn 3.5% back on all purchases for your first 3 months. Then you go to 1.5% forever, but check this out. For our cases, if you spend over 50K in 1 year, we'll actually earn 2% back in Bitcoin forever. So if we can Apple Pay, hey, great, the Apple Card's gonna give us 2%. If we use the JPM, we get 1.5%, unless of course we redeem that for travel, which lately has been a little harder to use this card to redeem for travel. Then, instead, we're going to be using the BlockFi Rewards Visa card to get 2% back in Bitcoin. And if you want to sign up for this as well, you can go to metkevin.com/cc, metkevin.com/cc, like credit card. And keep in mind, you will earn 3.5% back on all purchases in your first 3 months. There is a limit to that. It limits you to earning an extra $100 on your first $2,857, and then it goes to that 1.5%, unless of course you're spending over 50K in a year. But it's pretty cool because every time, instead of getting reward points that you don't end up using, like I end up doing with the travel cards, you just end up getting crypto back, which is kind of a cool integration. But anyway, I applied for this card, got this card, super exciting, waiting for this to arrive. Now, let's go back to see what happened with my score. So take a peek at this. Let's go ahead and scroll up here and take a look at this change right here. After I paid off that card, you'll see that right here, balance decreased $36,700. Check it out. Credit score instantly went back to where it was, 128. So I spent about a month basically not being able to rent to myself, which is kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, you could definitely see that that trough there. You know, that almost looks like the inflation chart they show us. It's pretty funny. But yeah, just for giggles, you can see here, payment history 100%, card utilization is currently 0. That was a lot higher when it was at 37%, of course. Average age of credit histories, it actually doesn't, it should be a lot older than that, but is what it is. I had, my oldest account was a Wells Fargo card that I just never used. It was like 11-something years old, and I ended up closing that card, which maybe I should have just left it open for the average age, but honestly, I don't think it matters too terribly much. So I got a bunch of cards here. We got real estate loans. There are more real estate loans. Lauren's got cards and stuff. So anyway, this is a complicated stuff. A lot of bills to pay, basically. It's kind of a headache. But anyway, it thinks our credit still looks relatively new, but who cares? I don't care. As long as it's above 740, I'm good with that. Anywho, so go check out that BlockFi rewards card by going to metkevin.com/cc or meetkevin.com/cc, doesn't matter, or click the link down below. And folks, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.